right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Team Talk from Arrowhead Live. As always, I'm your host, Caleb James. I'm joined today by a special guest. He's going to help me do some film analysis later. But this is my guy, Graham Cannon. He is our head editor at our website, Arrowhead Live. So make sure to go give him a follow. Graham, I'll give you a second to shout out your socials here in a minute so everyone can go give you a follow. But Graham actually, in his free time, he helps us out with the editing at Arrowhead Live. But I think he's one of these guys. He has a really interesting career he has chosen through himself through sports media. Graham, you want to kind of fill everybody in on that real quick?
Yeah, I'm a filmmaker here in Kansas City, so I've worked with the Chiefs. I've worked with other local sports teams. I've worked with mainly KU because I used to work for the athletic department in Kansas, but I sometimes will just freelance shoot with them, and I've been part of some of their productions. I really do enjoy being there because the Chiefs treat everybody like family. They really do. They give us good food. They treat us well. Everybody's really nice, and yeah, I really like doing this as well. Arrowhead Live is a great place to work. Uh, we're in the dead season right now because nothing else is going on right before camp starts. But yeah, you can follow me at Big Dog Cannon on Twitter, and I will be posting articles and sharing stuff and making sure that everybody knows what's going on at Arrowhead Live.
Yeah, and the reason I brought Graham on today is he's another guy who, like me, he enjoys the offensive line and defensive line play. We think it's fun to watch. So we're going to be doing this Darian Kinnard film breakdown. Really quickly, though, there's a lot of news surrounding the kingdom. There's been big bombshells dropped this week. Obviously, we're recording this on a Wednesday. Orlando Brown has to either come to a deal by Friday or he's going to have to risk going into the season without a contract. It sounds like he still wants the top money of any left tackle in the league. It sounds like the Chiefs are putting their foot down. There's been all kinds of reports. I saw Pete Sweeney tweet late last night about the team not really wanting to, they like him, but they don't want to make him the top paid guy. And then Mike Garafolo with the NFL Network is reporting that, Brown could, if things get extreme, could even sit out the full season. Graham, where are you at? What are your kind of your thoughts behind some of this stuff that's transpired in the last 24 hours with Orlando Brown and his deal?
Well, I think Orlando does need to sign eventually, but I think the Chiefs are going to get him a nice shorter term deal to make him like the number. The Chiefs definitely don't have the cash or are willing to spend the cash to make him the highest paid left tackle and give him like the max contract like Trent Williams or um, even like Quentin Nelson money maybe eventually, but because Quentin Nelson plays guard, but they're going to make sure he gets paid. But I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but I do expect them to sign like a shorter term deal and make him the highest per year left tackle in the league. I don't know. I think that's what they probably will do. But I think they'll get it done during camp.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things is that I think it's interesting that with it all, people are like keep talking about like how much he's going to make per year. And I'm like, that's all fine and good, but really, what's that guaranteed at? Dave Bakhtiari is making the most guaranteed of any tackle in the league at 65 guaranteed. Then you've got Trent Williams in there at 40. And really, if there's anything we've seen this offseason with Devontae Adams contract and Tyreek Hill contract situation, these guys are starting to value the guaranteed money a lot more than the per year, because as we've seen, the Brett Veach is very good at, he's the king of incentive contracts, very good at manipulating the contract year to year to fit what he needs it to be able to do. That'll be interesting stuff to keep an eye on here in the coming days. I'll probably have a video out for everybody once the Chiefs do make their decision.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's time to get into it a little bit because we are going to go ahead and see if we can get going with this film review. I'm going to share my screen for everyone here. I just got to pull it up real quick. And right now, let me see if I can get my screen pulled up here. But we've got the Darian Kinnard film. The game I chose was from this past season versus was against the University of Georgia. And against Georgia, they would go ahead and Georgia, as we all know, were the national champions this year. They were They were just incredible across the board. We're a very hard team to stop. Graham, I was just thinking, we were talking about this just a second ago. They had some guys we were really high on, Jordan Davis, Devontae Wyatt, guys like that, kind of with that Georgia team and all those pros. If you were kind of remember from watching maybe some of this Kinnard film from earlier, what was kind of some of the stuff that you thought you'd take away just from his game before we get into the film?
Well, Kinnard is an extremely physical tackle. I feel like I mean, to play right tackle, you have to make sure that you run downhill. But the way that he is able to develop that in the pass pro is very unique because he uses his hands and his size to make sure that the bodies are pushed way outside the pocket. And in this game, he dominated some of these guys. I mean, there's the first overall pick is on the left here, and then he's on the right here, and he dominates this front. I mean, Kentucky didn't, but everybody. I mean, his hands of stone.
Yeah, you can see my screen, can't you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Let me move this around just a little bit. But yeah, we come over here first play, guy at right tackle. Let's get into it. Sorry, I was unprepared on how that was going to start. It usually starts up nice and easy, and of course this time it didn't. Why not? But we take a look here. They're just running zone the other direction. Immediately, though, what I like to kind of see from Qatar, and I'll go ahead and let the play finish out, but I'll run it back a little bit. What I liked from him initially is he's starting to open up. He's already surveying kind of what's going on over here in the play side B gap. And as we kind of start to go another frame ahead, he has this guy. You see where he's got his head at, everybody. That's where you want to be because look what the running back sees. There's his seam right there.
Yeah, he makes sure he has a wedge. So that way there's a hole there for the back, but he's also looking just in case the back cuts the opposite way that he can have they can make sure he can move that guy out, or he can move down and make sure he has a block downfield.
Yeah, and he's starting to give up a little bit of the inside to this guy, but he's got him square. He's getting his feet planted into the ground. I believe that was the next play. Sorry about that. Nope. But no, back to this one real quick.
Look at where his hands are already. His hands are already, like that right hand is coming in to punch right at right below his pads. That's
something he need to work on, though. His feet are a little crossed up.
Yeah, they're crossed up. If you get a good defensive tackle who knows to run that gap, like a nose tackle, that's a problem.
But he has to really be moving because this guy's got to get up. His guard's got to get up here to be able to make this block. This is where
you can cheat that. I mean, you can definitely cheat that. But the way that he does it there is he does a perfect way just to make sure he gets his guy, the guard, gets him to the linebacker. He takes on his man. It's really nice zone blocking by everybody there. And that guard gets his hands on him, and he's setting his feet up back out to the right, so that way there's a hole. He knows there's a hole there, but he's also still looking back towards the left here, just in case he's have another block.
Yeah, because it is zone, so he's kind of just keeping his eye out to make sure this guy doesn't loop back in. He has to kind of throw himself. But yeah, pretty good block. He's got himself sealed. He's got the hole sealed. It's just
gets two guys for one right there.
That's a pretty good opening play. And then here's the play I started to break down before. Look, it's just more of this little play. His job is mainly just going to be to seal this guy on the reverse.
He's not. His feet right there are really weird.
Yeah, let me run that back real quick. I think that is one of the things he has to work on. It's one of the reasons why he's a 5th round draft pick. Is his feet can get
kind of like a hop set, and he loses all his leverage right there.
He get a little wonky. I mean, you see, this is not a positive angle to be at. He's got 1 foot in the ground, 1 foot up out of the ground. I know he's really trying to sell it here, but you just like to see him come in a little more under control.
And he's so high.
Yeah.
He's so high there.
But he does kind of start to come back and calm down a little bit, and he's able to actually, not allow
right back in
over. He makes him go around.
Yeah. I mean, it's enough to get the job done. He's just trying to he's basically like the old Lombardi, create a seal again in the alley, but that's some technique he's going to need to work on.
I can see him doing this when Blake Bell sneaks, but I mean, they're just trying to get a first down here.
And
He's just
And
coming down to blow it up.
basically, it's a triple on Jordan Davis. I think that's Davis that's in the middle there.
Yeah, I
No,
think
Davis is on the other side. He's on the left. Okay. So
there.
basically, they're just trying to triple. They're trying to just get a yard, so they really don't care about the backer. They really just want to make sure they get like 2 or 3 yards up the middle here.
They're just trying to run the quarterback sneak. They're just trying
Yeah.
to get the first down. So it's just about creating that movement with the wedge. And, he falls off to the weak side where there wasn't really anyone over him. This is a play I really like, and I'll let it play out and then go back. But,
Ooh,
yeah, they try to run this little – Georgia wants to run.
it's a nice stunt.
Yeah, I think that's Wyatt. And then they got the
Yeah.
first round draft pick, Trevon Walker, right here. They're
Mhm.
trying to run this little tackle and stunt. But what you see is once he sees the tips open, and this is one of the things I like about Kinnard, high IQ guy. He sees those hips start to open back up. So he immediately kind of puts out the feeler hand, that feeler left, and he can feel it coming in. And now he's got to get ready to slam over because he's got to slam off his guard, basically, so his guard can pick up 44 and so the pocket can stay clean. But he does that. But look, he's powering down with the left. He's got leverage, and he's basically just stabbing, kind of elbowing this guy, and he's coming back underneath with the right. His guards feel pretty comfortable right now about passing this off, and he does. They get it, and Wyatt starts to get through a little bit, but
He's off balance. He's way off balance there, so he throws him.
But the reason he's off balance because when you see it again in fast motion, he gets punched in the chest, man.
Yeah, he gets punched so hard that Kinnard's able to kind of just like uses that right hand again, which I definitely think is a strong hand. He's just able to kind of push him over with that right. And one thing that's beautiful about this is communication here. Like that, I mean, they may not have communicated on that play, but knowing who you have next to you and be able to be like stunt, we have something there, I don't know. Sometimes when I played, we had calls for that. We'd be like under, over. You had something you would call. But being able to do that, especially against those guys who are 2 first-round picks, is impressive.
Go back to this one real quick because he is a good pass blocker, but where he makes his money at is in the run game. You don't get to be a 2-time All SEC player, unanimous All American by not being able to run the ball in that league. And they just have a double team block on here. And I mean, really, the center doesn't do a great job, but I think he's matched up against Davis, so he's just kind of doing what he can.
Yeah.
Kinnard in the guard,
5 yards downfield.
They're mauling this guy 5 yards downfield, and they stay hip to hip. They're tight in there the entire time. That's what you like to see. Coming back on this one, he has this pretty wide 3 technique, and he's got the 5, but he's got some tight end help. And it looks, they're just going to run it right behind him. And he got good movement again on that one. He gets tangled up there.
He does just enough to make sure. I mean, he does more than just enough, but he makes sure he gets his man right there.
Little high. He's
high.
He's got his feet pumping, though. He's getting his feet. This one's into the ground. I like his hips here. Just a little high, but his hands are engaged. They're getting ready to be inside and fighting. And now he tries to dip back down. It's kind of the leverage.
Yeah.
And
he knows his guards left him, so he's just like, I have to take him on. And right there, I mean, that's perfect.
I mean, it's a drive block. He stoned his guy 3 yards off the ball, and they ran it right behind him. It's just one of those
10-yard. That's a 10-yard gain, really.
I'm bigger. I'm a bigger and stronger than you, and he does some of that again on this play. He got the raping on this one. See, he's a nasty finisher. I mean,
yeah, he's dirty. I mean, getting down and doing the dirty work as a tackle like that.
Yeah, he's got his tray block on with he's got his double team block on with the tight end, and he just gets the big rake. There's already one body in the ground, so let me rake it over. But here's what I like about this one. He takes the inside step first. Some of the guys, if they know they got to get ready to get into a double team, they'll panic and step with that. That would have ruined everything as he'd been going kind of in guard fighting against it. Works with the guard, waits for his guard to give him the contact. I think that's Jordan Davis beating someone inside there, but he sees kind of an opportunity to get the tight end up, He comes back over with his right arm and rakes him over, and he puts a guy on the ground. They don't get a ton off of that play, but
I think they'll
he's
lose a
doing his
yard there.
job. He's doing his job.
Yeah, that right there just shows. I mean, the physicality on that play just was insane.
From Georgia too. That's why. And here he is against the #1 overall draft pick,
Mm-hmm.
Travon Walker. It's a little screen game. This isn't really where he excels. He's not the greatest mover in space. He has the right idea on this play. This one's snuffed out so quick though. He doesn't even really have time to get going. The
Yeah,
time.
it's like he's like 1-2, and I have to go. He really only has like one, and then he has to get going.
And you see who even snuffs the play out first there, nose tackle. I forget number 88 for the Georgia's name. He's going to be a high draft pick this year.
Yeah.
It's not a good play if early on you've already got a nose tackle. Your guy who's playing the shade is
Nose tackle and linebacker already got it. The mic and the tackle already are reading it. That's not good at all.
And that's nothing against Kinnard. And they're just kind of using some RPO stuff because nothing they like to do is really working. No, that one is not really terrible. He just kind of shuffles down the line. He doesn't move the guy.
He's kind of just putting his stake in the ground, just trying to make sure he can hold that backside.
And that's one thing I want to see him work on though, is instead of clicking the heels and getting in like that and being out of control with his feet, you'd like to see him stay square and stay, like just take a short little step and not be trying to lunge. He seems like he's trying to lunge all the time. He's able.
He needs to stake his, like, as offensive lineman, you want to keep your feet moving, but you need it like on that kind of thing. You're wedging, so you just kind of have to sit your foot in the ground and push back. You're just trying to make sure that guy can't get to your runner on the backside there. He doesn't need to make a big physical block there. He just to make sure he can hold him for like 2 seconds.
Kind of the same thing here, but it's a pitch, so he doesn't really. It's not the end of the world for him.
It's not, and his job's not there. His job is really on the just kind of mash it down there. That's previous.
That's how I've always been taught about it on those kinds of things. I don't know if maybe they're doing it differently. Maybe it's different because it's Georgia, but the three techniques for Georgia are cheating this hard is basically all I'm seeing from this. They're
running really wide. Even the one tech's really pretty wide. He's basically a 2.
And look at the 3 tech. That's hard because they're basically playing against Kinnard's aggression here. That you do like it when a guy does show that he is going to be aggressive, but he's one of those guys he needs to how to play more under control with his feet.
And this is no way.
And yeah,
he didn't even touch him.
It's just
that's a learning. That's something you can learn though.
It's a different offense too from what he's running here, from what the Chiefs run. That's what you like though. Right. That seems like something an NFL caliber team would run. Look at it. What is it? It's just straight. It's
outside. It's an outside zone play.
Yeah, it's just a kind of a zone. His guard does an okay job, but he's just mashing this up. Look how square he is. A lot of people get this misconception about zone that it's like this unphysical blocking scheme, but really in zone, especially inside zone or mid zone, and even like in some instances outside zone, your point of attack has to be north and south vertical. Like you can't be like giving up a ton of penetration or it's going to cut down the gaps the back can get to. This guy, that's hard. It's hard in there against those those NFL caliber 3 techniques. But look at this. He is the most square person on the line, absolutely mauling. This should be a big rip right here. Obviously, you see this. This should be a legit rip. It should be him versus safety, him versus this guy, both the safeties, back versus safeties. They get a gain, but it could have been more.
Yeah, left tackle and left guard there missed that block, and that's you watch the left here. You can see that their left tackle just doesn't even attempt some of this stuff. But Kinnard, my goodness.
He's getting off the ball. His feet are still a little little wonky, but then he gets on, and now it's just mashing time. I'm going to drive you down the field, and I'm going to get in your face.
His footwork on his first steps isn't the best, but once he makes contact, he drives his feet really well.
And there he's gotten a little better on that even as we've gone along here.
Yeah, right. Right there, that's great. That's great
That's a
technique.
great first step because he just kind of opens it up. He doesn't he doesn't overstep like he did. He is still pivot just a little bit, but he's on the angle. You know, his feet aren't like
They're underneath him. He's not lunging on this one, doesn't seem like.
and it's just
Yeah.
that aggression thing. It's, you know, harness the aggression to your benefit, harness the power and the explosion. Because I think he gets off the line pretty quick. He just doesn't always know what he's doing sometimes. Whenever he's just going out there to react without purpose.
He's indecisive. I think sometimes he's indecisive when he's open field. My God.
Yeah, I mean this game's a bloodbath. Georgia was doing whatever they wanted.
I mean, he gets a great block right there. That's perfect.
See, he does,
and then there's just Jordan Davis.
I mean, look, he's got it sealed. He's already in position to make the play. But I mean, I don't know. We were both fans of Jordan Davis in the draft. I mean,
Good God. How do you can't even block that? That's insane.
Here he is, you know, just zone going nowhere. He just kind of has to get a hip.
Yeah, he's doing his damnedest right here, but
see, the thing though is whenever teams start cheating your outside zone and stuff like that, your mid zone, you just want to go back and side on. Oh, here we go. They're losing by so much they decide to do a little passing, which they don't pass the ball a lot.
I like his feet right here.
Vertical,
and he's has that reach hand out just to make sure he's going like, okay, they're not doing a stunt.
He's feeling for Trevon.
Yeah, he's like, no stunt. Okay, I got now 1-on-1, and then he sits at the pocket, which is great right here.
And you know what I really like? Once he knows he's going to be getting ready to make this block, he gets his inside hand on first, and he's still got his outside hand free to come back later.
Yep. Right. And, I mean, right there, the engagement.
It's over.
Yeah, that's a clean block.
It's over. He's got leverage.
And he can. If that guy's kind of lost. That guy lost. He tries to go back inside. He buries him. He goes upfield. Just push him upfield. That's a clean rep.
It's an excellent pass blocking. I wish Kentucky passed the ball more. They're a real run heavy type team. They don't give us a whole lot.
Yeah, they're 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
They're a classic run heavy college. Really, he doesn't even do a bad job for being kind of a goofy, busted play.
I mean, he sees first man inside and just clears him.
But I believe that's Wyatt.
Is it Wyatt? Yeah.
Wyatt is a 4-eye, and he's looping away. And that's already hard because he's already looping, and they're running their zone action. They're running their play action zone. And he's already before Kinnard even gets out of his set, he's already ready. And they're already cheating. But sometimes when you're an offensive lineman, you know, he gets a little help just from the misdirection. You know, you got to make do sometimes.
I mean, that he does enough there just to get him out of the way.
He extends his arms just enough, gets him just off balance, and then he doesn't quit though. He does not quit the play at all. He runs him around the circle, gives his quarterback a chance to make the play with his legs. You know, that's kind of one of those instinctual. I'm a savvy football player kind of.
That's just. Ooh.
Steve, look, man.
If the running back read that correctly, that backside's wide open.
You'd like to see him take, which it's hard because this is inviting, especially on the play side of zone. But man, Kinnard gets the movement over. But these Georgia guys, they just flow so fast, and their 3 techniques were just cheating it so hard.
But that's a gorgeous reach right here. Just buries him inside, and he's perfectly he's to the sideline. He's just hit straight. He's not missing anything there. That's great.
Oh, step forward a little too fast there. He makes solid contact when he gets in there. And then, you know, kind of the same deal here, just trying to get a few with the quarterback. What do they do here? Okay, they ran a little play action. They ran a little RPO pass game here. He's got Wyatt isolated again out here as like a 4-eye. Really on this play, he's just trying to jump set him and get big. He starts to get pulled a little bit. He gives up a little bit. He needs to work on that core a little bit more.
He's lunging a little bit on this. Like he's trying to get low man win. Like he's dropping his hips right here.
he's trying to sell the run a little bit better, and it probably
Yeah,
was. It looks like it could be a RPO design because it looks like I think that's the center.
that's the center. He's
That looks like
downfield.
the center. It looks like he's getting ready to go up. Maybe not. It might have been just a quick pop design. He's getting, that's just you got to work on the core strength, got to work on the back strength to not let that happen, especially since he has long arms. That shouldn't be happening, but the quarterback's still able to get and Kentucky's just missing their chances, especially on the open ones.
Yeah, yeah.
He has the walk up outside. He has the walk up, but then 88's coming from the 4-eye again, but he just snatches on. He latches on quickly and patient.
His hands are so explosive here.
Yeah. Patient. He's still feeling he's still doing a little bit of an airplane, but then he gets in, and really he's already won because all his weight's on the inside foot. It looks like here he's got the leverage. He's got him by the chest plate, and now he's basically going to go through and try to take him out there.
And as a right tackle on pass pro, you're just kind of making sure you get enough, just so because the quarterback can see that if he's right-handed, you're just trying to make sure you get enough of them. So trying to get enough of a chance here, and he does this all the time. This is right here is perfect.
He's getting out slightly. He's on Trevon Walker here. He may be slightly, shoulder to shoulder here instead of like keeping that good relationship, but he stabs his arms first. He gets out quick, and he's giving himself a chance to win because he's not letting Walker kind of counter off of a second move or hit something off of speed. And you see Walker tries to go to his go-to, which he got a lot of sacks with this year, is try to go into the long arm. But it's hard to long arm Darian Kinnard because he's already got some of the longest arms of anybody on the field that you're going to see, and he's able to hold them off the entire time while somehow, winning the hand leverage battle. Because people always talk about the pad leverage battle, but they don't talk about like the hand leverage. And he's blocking him with independent hands here because he's getting ready to come back with his inside and actually locks back on and helps himself win the play.
Yeah. One thing about that last play, real quick, is him knowing that he's 1-on-1. I think it's why his shoulders were so tight. Normally they'd be a little bit more outside, but I think he's like, all right, I'm 1-on-1. He knows he's 1-on-1 because they must have called it. Because the way they slid protection. So he must have known he's 1-on-1. So he put his shoulders a little bit, put his feet a little closer together, just to make sure he's like, okay, is he going to go inside? Is this a stunt? Just trying to make sure he knows exactly where he's going.
Then this play is just down blocking, but they're trying to sell some run action here, and Georgia was all over it. This is why the Georgia won the national championship. Their defense was dominant. This is a Kentucky team that was ranked in the top 20.
Right. He is really solid pass pro. I mean, for a 5th-round pick, right there. And is this the same play or is this the next one?
It's the next play. He does a good job with that run action sell because they're trying to like sell kind of zone off this way. And he does a good job of it. He gets in there, he gets under control, and then you go into the pass, the pass pro aspect of it. Now he can just sit down, walk his arms out, and just be big and not give up any penetration like he does here.
And like you said before, he crosses his feet a little too much for me on some of these. Like on that one, he kind of reached. He brought his feet like he just needs to shuffle more.
Right. Just a little reverse there, not too much he's going to be involved in on that one. Mm-hmm. And just more like a little Kentucky was breaking out all the stops to try to get anything on this play or this
game. Didn't want to be shut out.
Yeah. Didn't want to be shut out. That play right there, people are like, oh, it doesn't look like he's doing much. He's only doing his job. There's some situations on the offensive line where
you can only do so much.
You can only do so much just based on the play. See, that's not good though. Yeah. And that kind of goes back to me saying from earlier, he's over aggressive. He plays aggressively because right there he wants to go into that guy and just maul his face. He wants to go in there and be just like, I want to get into a dog fight with you. But instead he gets swam back the other way and his guy is almost the play for a big gain.
His guy makes first contact, which Yeah, that's never good. I think the big thing right there is you're right. I mean, his head's down. He's not even looking up. He's not even like his face mask isn't up. He's more like you're right. He's trying to be uber aggressive, and I mean, he's breakdancing right into this.
Yeah, no good there.
With I think him, if he's going to start, which I think he will start this year, him being next to Trey Smith's going to help a lot because Trey Smith had that problem
Oh yeah,
this year.
that was, and if you put on other games against other guys, he looks a lot better. This is literally the best competition most NFL
Mm-hmm.
defense you're going to see. They've they had several guys drafted in the first round this year. They're going to have several guys drafted next season as well in the first round across the board. There, and yeah, see, it's the same thing again. He tries to come more under control, but I think he started thinking a little bit too much.
I this one watch his feet. Yeah, he crossed his feet right there. Like he didn't have a wide enough base right at the when he had to go get 88. You can see his feet kind of he gets narrow right there, and that's when he makes contact.
Yeah, and he's trying to just be bigger and stronger, but he's giving up penetration. And he ends up letting his guy make the play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good to be bigger and stronger, but you still have to have technique on that.
You got to
I
have your
mean,
feet. I've always been a proponent. And even like that one right there, but I've always been a proponent on offensive linemen. Give me the guy who has the best possible feet. I want the guy with the best possible footwork because if your feet can't take you there, you can't do it. You can't win the rep.
yeah, you can tell that they're getting tired. The Kentucky offense is because his feet stop sometimes when he makes contact.
That wasn't a bad rep right there.
That was a good rep. That was a clean rep. That was probably I'd say that was probably his second best rep against Walker right here.
Let's take
Is that Wyatt? Sorry, is that Wyatt?
It's Wyatt. Walker drops, but he's
Yeah,
he's ready. He's waiting. He sees it, and now he gets engaged.
he
And
swipes his hand down because
then
like he
he
comes in,
lost.
he just does like he makes sure his hands he swipes Walker's hands down and he just brings his back into it.
Excellent posture right there.
Yeah,
Excellent,
great hand fighting too.
excellent posture. That's his big asset, man. It's his hands. His hands.
Yeah,
I think it's saying we got about 3 minutes before it's going to kick us out, but let's try to see if we can end on a good one. That one's not terrible. Let's go wait another second, see if we can get a good one to end on.
dang. But
Almost
I
good
mean,
one.
him
Almost.
being in the middle of that mush is just great. I love that.
Yep. And this time, 88 tries to cheat to go, underneath the guard as opposed to, going around him and kind of trying to beat Kinnard. But Kinnard's, this is what I like, high IQ football play right here. Kinnard didn't just panic and look. He said, my gaps is still maintained no matter what my guard is doing. This is still a gap I have to block. And he ends up running into
I mean,
88.
he just sees a red hat inside and goes, "Mine." He just goes, "That's my guy. I
It's a
got him."
it's a blown play, but it's acceptable.
Right. That's that right there is super impressive.
I liked it. It's pretty
It
good.
it's a good power move. It's good to because that's just a power rush and he's able to break that off.
Oh boy.
And his that's just Georgia.
That's Georgia being Georgia. SEC is going to be fun to watch this year. At least the top 3, 4 teams.
Yeah, not the Big 10, not the Big 12. They're not to be fun. I like that one a lot. That one, I think his feet are great in that one.
Stays under control.
Sees a spin move coming, like he even just resets it. He just goes, okay, he's gonna spin on me. Keeps his hands on him the entire time. That's some good stuff. All right, there we go.
Yep. And I'll keep letting the video play, but we've only got about a minute left before the recording is going to stop. So that means there's only about a minute left in the show as he gets a pretty nice one right there. But Graham, real quick, give me 30 seconds of final thoughts and then share your social again for everybody who's listening at home.
Kinnard's going to be a little bit of a project, but I expect him to start week 1. I think he has all the tools you want from a right tackle, and especially with Trey Smith being next to him and Creed Humphrey, I think he's gonna take some lumps, but I think he's gonna be better than Wiley. Um, I just really like his hands. I think he has great hand placement. He really he just needs to learn a few things, and I think he'll be set.
Yep.
My socials, my Twitter is at Big Dog Cannon. Um, if you want to reach me there, just DM me about football stuff. I'm more than open.
All right, guys. Graham, thanks for coming on. I hope everybody enjoyed this film review. I'm going to be looking to bring you guys a lot more, film coming here in the very near future. I do appreciate everyone tuning in and listening. And as always, everybody, keep on keeping on, stay safe, and have a good one. Everybody take care.
Peace.